Good morning, everybody. This is USS Princeton 2004 here, and today is October 5th, 2011, and it's 10:48 in the morning, and it's beautiful out here. It's probably in the upper 60s, lower 70s in Fahrenheit, and got clear blue skies. And my ride to work this morning was pretty fun because I cut down on my commute time by replacing the wheels and the tires on my 2009 Gary Fisher Tasahara. And the tires I have are 26 by 1.5s, and I've had these tires for a long time. I bought them maybe back in 2008, and I just had them on my other bike, which I never use, but it's still got a little bit of tread left on there. And when these wear out, I ordered a set of VID00217 Durando Perfect road tires, which are 26 by 1 3/8. And more than likely I'll be replacing the rear tire first, because more often than not the rear tire is what wears out when you ride bikes. So I have a backup just in case I need them. But this video is not about my bike, it's about the cable locks that I use. And I already have a kryptonite cable lock. It's just kryptonite there. And it's a braided steel cable lock, and it's wrapped around this tree, and it wraps around both wheels. And along with that, I also have in my bag this on guard lock, and it weighs about 12.5 pounds, 12.5 to 13 pounds, and I keep this in my locker. And you know, I don't feel like riding around with that much weight on my bag, and I only use it when I lock up my bike when I'm at work. So I use this just to have peace of mind that when you get off work that your bike will still be there. And I've got the card with the actual model. It's the Rottweiler 5023L. And it's 220 centimeters by 30 millimeters, or 7 feet 0.4 inches by 1.2 inch. This lock is mainly made for scooters and motorcycles, but I use it on my mountain bike as well. It's better to be safe than sorry, and I've invested quite a bit of money on my mountain bike, so I don't feel like having it stolen. And on the back of the card, it's got the X2 power, double bolt locking mechanism, and it's got a picture on there. And these are just the features of the lock itself. And it comes with 5 laser cut keys, and one of them has a micro light, so you could find the lock and insert the key when it's dark outside. And over here it's got some various languages: French, German, Spanish, Italian, and I don't know the rest. So with the various languages, I'm guessing that these are sold throughout the world. And I paid close to $70 for this lock, and some of them are sold at a higher price, but if you could shop around, maybe try Amazon.com, and you might be able to find a good deal on the lock. And the way I lock the bike is pretty much the same way that I loop the kryptonite braided steel lock that I already have on there. So let's go ahead and try to wrap this 5023L lock around my bike. I've got to put the camera down for a minute because it's hard to try to wrap this around my wheels and my frame just with using one hand. So I'm going to try to set the camera down just for a minute. Alright, so I have the lock looped around my wheels, the rear triangle, and between the top tube and bottom tube, and it's locked on the front wheel. And this part of the city isn't considered a high crime area, but you know, like I said, it's better to be safe than sorry, and you can never have too many locks. And I really like this bike, and I had searched around for this particular color, and it's the UNC blue. For those who are into college basketball, you know who the North Carolina Tar Heels are, because they're a pretty famous college basketball program, and that's the alma mater of Michael Jordan, arguably the best basketball player of all time. But you know, I really like the components as well, and not just the color. I didn't buy the bike just because I like the color. I bought it because it had 9-speed rear cassette, disc brakes, a nice front shock, and you know, it's got, for the whole package, you know, it's what I was looking for in a mountain bike. So I was lucky enough to find one on Craigslist, and I had to travel to Charlotte, North Carolina to pick it up, which is about 2 hours and 30 minutes away, depending how fast you drive. It could have been 2 hours, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Within 2 hours and 2 hours and 30 minutes was the time it took for me to get to Charlotte from Chapel Hill. And I've added a rear rack. It's attached to the seat post. I'll do a review on that on another video, and I'll also update you guys on this gel padded seat that I had put on there. And I also have a Bell sports bike computer, but I haven't had a chance to put the magnet on the spokes. You can see the sensor that's already on there. But I have the magnet on my other wheel set at the house, and it was working when I had the other wheel set on there. But you know, I ride the same route every day, pretty much the same hills, the same climbs, the same flats. So, you know, the information that I get on the computer is pretty redundant. So, I mean, the information sometimes is pretty useless unless you're just into trying to log the miles and try to keep up of how long you ride.